studio production begins in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Erica Joseph with the Community Foundation, and today our guest is Cindy Robinson, who is the Director of Marketing and Communications with MAC Incorporated. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you spending time because there's always so much to highlight about MAC, and here on Community Foundation Spotlight, we shine a spotlight on all the different good works that are happening in the community that different nonprofit partners are undertaking, and MAC is certainly a great example of that. So we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So let's start in the event that some of our viewers haven't heard of MAC, which I would, be surprised about because you're doing all sorts of amazing things. But what does MAC Incorporated do in the Lower Shore?
MAC is the Area Agency on Aging, and our mission is to provide programs and services that help area seniors live with dignity, health, and independence.
And that's a very broad mission. I mean, you and the team there, which is, a large group of paid staff, but also a tremendous number of volunteers, in encompassing and achieving that mission, you have a variety of services. So you're doing programs for very active older adults and also helping some of our most vulnerable senior citizens. Talk to me a little bit about the programs that you work on for active adults.
We have numerous exercise classes that address strength and balance and other issues that the senior adults might be facing. We also have a series of wellness programs and chronic disease self-management workshops. And these workshops are designed to give the participants more confidence in how to maintain their health and to continue living active lifestyles.
And I see when I visit the facility, which serves also as the senior center, you have a pool table, you have activities throughout the day, you have dance classes, you have lunch available during the day. So it really is this hub of where people can come and get to know one another and learn new things.
MAC is a hub of activity, and the idea of the Senior Center is to bring the seniors together to help reduce isolation. It gives them a chance to socialize with people their own age. They have nutritious meal provided to them, and there's the opportunity to partake of other services or find out about other services they might need.
And if someone wanted to visit MAC, where can they find you?
We are off Snow Hill Road behind the Holly Center. The entrance is well marked with signs. Just follow the road back, come in the main entrance, and someone will be glad to take you on a tour and tell you what MAC has to offer.
And if they wanted to call you, how would they reach you?
Our number is 410-742-0505.
And I know that there is always just a buzz in MAC when you pop in during the day. And so that's a great way for people to, come in, visit, network, make friends, eat great food. But then you also do a lot of outreach for some of our struggling seniors in the community and those that need that extra effort on behalf of MAC to, come to them. Talk a little bit about how you do that specifically with the Meals on Wheels program.
The Meals on Wheels is probably one of our better known programs. There are a lot of elderly on the Eastern Shore who just don't have access to adequate nutrition. And a lack of adequate nutrition can lead to them being more vulnerable to falls, medical emergencies, hospital admissions, and nursing home placements. The Meals on Wheels program delivers more than that meal that provides adequate nutrition. It helps reduce their isolation, in that the driver who delivers the meals is often the only human being they see that day. And also it's a safety check. Because the majority of the Meals on Wheels recipients are frail and at a greater risk of falls and other medical emergencies, someone coming to their home every day to deliver a meal serves as a safety check. And the recipients have told us that they feel safer knowing that there will be someone coming that day. There have been cases where a meal has been delivered and the drivers found that the person has fallen, so they're able to make the calls to get the person the help that they need.
And I know that the wide range of resources and information that MAC has available to the community, the Meals on Wheels program is also a place that you help direct people to other services. So the drivers, can identify needs they might have, and your staff can then work to figure out if there are other ways that MAC can help them be successful and independent in their own homes.
Yes.
And that safety check is really invaluable to letting people have that life of independence, especially if they don't have a large support structure.
Yes, unfortunately, many of the Meals on Wheels recipients do not have the family support, and they do not have the resources to help themselves either.
Now tell me a little bit, because I know that organizations depend on resources of financial and also human to accomplish those goals. And I know the Meals on Wheels program is a perfect example of that, sort of coming together of people's monetary support, but also their time and energy in, making the program happen. So let's talk first about volunteers with the Meals on Wheels programs. How many people in the community do you have that are, branching out and driving around the Eastern Shore to, get that meal to a deserving individual?
There are at least 25 volunteers who deliver meals on a regular basis. For an example, the Salisbury Rotary Club has taken on a specific meal route for the last 12 plus years, and they handle that route every week.
Wonderful. That's quite a commitment.
We have dozens of volunteers who give of their time to make sure these frail elderly in our community get the food that they need.
And if someone wanted to volunteer, they could contact MAC at the number you provided and, volunteer that time either once a week, once a month, periodically. That would be something that would be easy to plug into, I imagine.
Yes.
And the flip side of that, you have a great team of people who either as employees or as volunteers go out in the community on delivery routes, but it costs money to make the Meals on Wheels program happen.
It does cost money. Last year, we delivered 100,000 meals on the Lower Shore. That's a lot of meals. But a few years ago, Matt took quite a huge hit to the Meals on Wheels budget. Add to that the current rising cost of food, transportation, and meal production. And we're working constantly to find ways to raise the funds that are needed to keep providing this needed service to our local vulnerable elderly.
And I know that the Community Foundation and the United Way and other organizations in the community are, helping to meet that financial need. You also have, individual contributors that make a difference in other businesses. And you've recently done, some fundraising specifically to help support Meals on Wheels. Can you talk a little bit about, that campaign and what your goal was in reaching out to the community to ask for help?
Well, first let me say that the community has been extremely supportive, and we are very grateful. Organizations and individuals, they've been very supportive of Meals on Wheels and MAC in general. We recently had our second Feed the Elderly campaign, and that was twofold purpose: to make people more aware of the need of the home delivered meals and what it means to these seniors, and to raise money to help cover the funds that were lost through the recent budget cut and the increasing need of the seniors. Mm-hmm. And that campaign, the active part of that campaign did conclude recently, but the need continues. The need to raise funds so we can continue to provide this important service to the elderly.
And contributions can be made by sending a check to MAC. Yes. Or contacting. Do you do any online donations?
Yes, you can visit our website at www.macinc.org. And our address is 909 Progress Circle, Salisbury, 21804.
Fantastic. And so tell me a little bit about any upcoming events that MAC has available for either the broader community or specifically for the, the clients and target population that you serve.
Well, we have some really exciting events coming up. In mid-October, we're going to be holding a senior expo, which will highlight a variety of services that are available on the shore for senior citizens. And then on November 11th, we are working with the Westside Historical Society to present a collectibles and antiques appraisal fair. And both of these events will be held at MAC, and we think they're going to be great fun. We want to get people into our building, see the building while they're there, learn about other MAC services, but also come out and enjoy themselves.
And you highlight the ability, through these events to showcase the MAC facility. And so I don't know what people envision when they think about a senior center, but I know that MAC is truly a community center. There are things that happen there throughout the year in that space that engage people from different organizations. You were gracious enough to let our Women's Fund hold a celebration event there recently in your Bradford room. You have that beautiful garden and the Purdue Learning Center or Education Center, I might have that name, hopefully close to accurate, but it's just this place that has so many wonderful opportunities and serves far beyond, I think, what might have been envisioned when it was first being built.
We are finding our rooms are full all the time. It runs the gamut from Ward Museum Carving Club. We have a group of ladies who play the dulcimer and they meet at MAC to practice. The Association for Lifelong Learning has a dedicated classroom and office space there, and they hold classes 2 semesters each year. And we were lucky enough to have the Women's Fund hold a reception at MAC. The community has used the rooms for private parties.
I'm really struck by how many times in a given month there's something that's happening at MAC that involves some of our staff or other community members that we know that brings them in and I think really helps to build that sense of community and connect older adults with other activities that they may not have an opportunity to get engaged with if they weren't there at the center.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, because I, certainly know that we wanted to focus time and energy on, the impact that the Meals on Wheels program has in the community. And last year, serving 100,000 meals to local people in need. So let's remind our viewers that they can support that through volunteer activity by contacting MAC. And that their financial contributions in any amount would be put to immediate and very good use. So in addition to the programs that you do reaching out to the community, providing Meals on Wheels, the senior center facility where people can come and connect, you also do a variety of different programs and services that help people in their home with a focus on independence and dignity. Talk a little bit about how you focus resources in that area.
Well, we have a variety of programs that are delivered in the home with the idea of helping the elderly age in place, just remain in their own homes. That's where they're happiest. It's also an alternative to more costly assisted living or nursing home placement. For example, our senior care program provides services that will help support a person in their home for a fraction of the cost of nursing home placement, about $200 a month versus several $1,000s.
And so what might that include? Does that help them with some basic household activities? Does that help them with, preparing their medication? What does that look like?
It is helping them with some light housekeeping, perhaps helping them dole out their medicines for the day. Just little services that they need and can't provide for themselves.
And really with a focus on safety and independence and being able to provide, just like the Meals on Wheels program, that extra human connection.
That human connection is so important.
Well, Cindy, I can't express enough how much the Community Foundation appreciates being able to work with MAC, to be able to, share in that beautiful space you have and help support many of the programs that you're doing here on the Lower Eastern Shore. We look forward to many of those opportunities to continue, and I encourage all of our viewers to learn more about MAC Incorporated, see if there's a chance for you to get involved or get connected and look for a way to help a very valuable service, something as simple as supporting the Meals on Wheels program. So thanks again, Cindy, for your time.
Thank you, Erica.
You've been watching Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Erica Joseph, and we'll see you next time.